this meeting to order of the Evergreen Cemetery Committee, February 2nd, Wednesday, 5:30, February 2nd, 2023, at the council chambers.
What time did you say?
5:43.
Okay, I guess do roll call. Carolyn?
Present?
Linda?
Present.
Crystal?
Present.
I said, I'm sorry. Alright, vacant. Joni is excused. Matt is excused, and I am present. Okay. Call the public?
So I just read this?
Yeah.
This is the time for the public to comment. Members of the board may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to ARS 38-43.01H, action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to requesting to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date. Presently, there is nobody. There's no one in the room to call for a call to the public, so we will move on.
Alright. So, following is to be discussed, considered, and or decided upon during this meeting. So, moving on to approval or action agenda. Okay. Approval of the minutes of the special session of Evergreen Cemetery Committee held on October 13th, 2022. Is that a motion?
Does anybody have it? I move that we approve the minutes of the special session of the Evergreen Cemetery Committee meeting held on October 13th, 2022.
I'll second.
Alright.
All in favor? Aye.
I guess I don't say it, sorry.
All opposed? Nay. Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay, so on to old business. Discussion and update on how committee members want to collaborate with Bisbee Project Wildlife. Sounds like this is a good one to talk about.
And I'm ready just to take notes, because I'm trying just to be a liaison between the two committees. So what did you guys have in mind?
Well, I've got some questions.
Okay.
Exactly what does the Bisbee Project Wildlife have in mind for the cemetery itself?
I believe they just, so far, they still have to determine who's going to be on the Bisbee Bloomers tour for Labor Day, and that hasn't been decided yet.
Okay.
But on the Friday before Labor Day, they did want to have our cemetery be on the tour for visiting officials.
And what's the date?
Look on that. It's Friday of Labor Day weekend.
And Labor Day is May? What's
September.
No, September.
September.
That last week.
Oh,
of
September.
August.
Oh, well, that's.
Yeah. So it's usually the Bisbee Bloomers puts on their garden tour. And this year specifically is Wildlife Gardens, and they love the cemetery, and they would like a, and this isn't open to the public. This would be the guest officials. Friday they're going to have people, because it's the 100th anniversary of Fish and Wild, or the U.S. Wildlife Group. So Friday's like the pre-thing, and they, anyways, let me get the date first. I'll continue with any answer, make sure I answer your question. So,
Roseville Nationalized Parks or something, maybe? 100 years?
huh?
Is it when they made national parks? Wasn't it Roseville?
No, it's the, National Wildlife Federation.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be 100 years old.
Wow.
And Bisbee, if Bisbee does in fact get certified, which they were so happy to have the cemetery be certified, they get more points. So they're trying to recruit people to certify their garden, and that will make
What does that
Bisbee
do with the cemetery?
All it does,
Let me show you. Marisol and I both didn't even have we both went through and walked through she went and picked up wreaths, and I just walked through to take a look to see if I were a first-time visitor to our cemetery. And there are big-time problems. These are animals.
would you like me to enlarge that?
Well, I'm
Is
gonna
that-
run through it real quick. We have sinking graves.
Yeah, no, I know there's a
Um,
ton of problems.
So what are we gonna do? We can't have people coming in looking at a garden tour with holes.
Okay,
So what do you think we should do
just,
about it?
yeah, then don't have to be on the garden tour. The city, it just helps get certified.
By
You know, it helped,
September, those holes will be filled in, probably next week.
it's
Oh, good.
Yeah.
so,
That just worries me, having people walking around with sinking
right, I
graves.
think if they do, so what the board the spiel I could get from the board was they wanted to have a reduced tour, not open to the public, just for the guest visitors. And then I think if that goes down, then we would say you have to stay on the roads, you can't get off the roads because of, holes all over the place. Walk at your own
Well,
risk. Oh, yeah, it was,
I just wanna have it nice for that. So, but I've already,
But
what
that is-
I would like to bring up is that we have, my idea is the day before Easter, which is in April,
uh-huh,
we have a community come help us, type deal, and get it back into walking shape. Logan said he can have these holes filled, if we can have dirt brought in there, I'd go over there with my wheelbarrow and start working on it, honestly. But we need to have a day, because who did that cleanup, or that chopping down of everything?
Probably your DOC crew.
Oh, good, because it was, the whole, from one end to the other, they didn't miss anything. And they chopped everything down, period. So we've got cacti that's chopped down and laying around, and
yeah.
my
fancy, it's great to
idea
not
being
have
on the
any
cemetery
catwalk.
committee is I want that cemetery back, and, it's people's heritage, and we need to get it back to where you can walk and just walk, and you can't. So that was my idea, and I wondered if what they're planning on, what are they trying to get, they're trying to get certified? Or are they trying to
They're
get
trying to get the
spots?
city certified,
Oh,
and having the cemetery be part of it just helped them, because it was worth 3 points instead of 1, because it's like counted like a city park.
oh.
And Doug Danforth, I believe I shared that on an email, I can send that to you again, sent
Yeah,
beautiful
you
pictures
should.
of just wildflowers and the ocotillo, the native
That
plants.
was in there?
In the cemetery, that is beautiful, and then at that, I'm talking monsoon, waist-high grass is native. It's beautiful native grass, so for wildlife habitat, it's beautiful.
Right.
And that's
But
all that they were
For people that
bragging
are trying
about.
to get to their graves, it's not.
Right, so,
And we did have a complaint about, someone said she couldn't get to her mother's grave because of the grass.
okay, so
Or the
basically,
weeds.
I'm seeing,
But they took care of that.
yeah, concerned about sinkholes and weeds, and basically, is that like you
It's
do?
not, right now, it's not aesthetic,
So you don't want to collaborate with the wildlife committee at this time?
unless they wanna come help us get it aesthetic.
Okay, we're on old business
'Cause then-
discussion and update on how committee members want to collaborate with Bisbee Project
Oh,
Wildlife.
okay, sorry.
And this has been on the agenda like 3 times, I've been trying to get it, just to, because I just want
On
to be
their
liaison.
agenda?
Yeah, I was like, want to say, what do you guys think, what do you guys think, and if anything jives, then we
Yeah,
can work
you
together,
gotta
and if
get a
then it doesn't, you
plan.
don't have to. I'm not trying
I
to
see.
force anything, I'm just
No,
trying to.
I'm just
communicate.
trying to get it straight to.
Yeah, no, that's
To tell
okay.
you the truth, if we can find some more bodies to help us get this aesthetic, I don't care if who it is,
Okay,
but I don't wanna just say, sure, you know,
yeah, no, that's all
and
right.
not know what they're gonna do, you know, I don't,
I'll find the,
I think they need to look into that and make sure they really want it as part of their,
It doesn't do anything outside of just recognizing there's native plants and that's it.
it's
More or
how,
less.
the habitat.
provides,
You encourage
provides
bees
habitat.
and
Like the
other-
evergreen trees are part of it, those are great habitat for birds.
And I've got to say that those are looking so much better.
Yes, I did get a quote from Luke to get that stuff cleaned up too, so we're gonna try and probably budget for that.
Okay. So my concern with the Bisbee Project Wildlife, I don't know, they just want our name.
Yeah,
And a place to show off native grasses the Friday before the wildlife garden tour. And then they want to pay for the plaque, that was the other, but that's later on the agenda, we'll stick to this.
All right.
Any,
Those are my concerns. We have sinkholes, we have cleanup, it's just not aesthetic
we
right
have,
now.
it's okay, that, I'm gonna write that down, aesthetic, not aesthetic. It's, and let me just say this back to you, just to make sure I'm getting it right, that basically, we have bigger problems at a more basic level to, we're not ready to make it a
I
showpiece
really
for
don't think we're
wildlife.
ready.
Okay, how about you, Crystal?
we're talking September.
I think we
Yeah.
have time to get
I
things
think we
fixed.
can get it
Yes,
taken
Maybe
care
by
of too.
then, yeah.
I think so.
Well, that's when she's talking about for Project
sorry.
Wildlife.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have time to get these things
As
fixed.
long as we do this in April, because we're, you know, if we're gonna have something like this to be ready for anything. And that's why I wish we had somebody here to tell us how that walk went. Did you go?
Which, I'm sorry.
Didn't they have that walk at Halloween or something?
Yes.
How-
That's
okay,
next-
Okay,
that's
it's
next month.
next, sorry. Or whatever.
Is there any more discussion on Project Wildlife?
Let me make sure, that is mine further, okay, I think mine is with new business, let me make sure. Yeah, okay, no.
So, just to summarize too, we are gonna, you guys would like to collaborate with Project Wildlife, or?
I think so. I think in the future, there's more possibilities to incorporate more things. If we do go with maybe the columbarium at some point, then we can incorporate maybe like fountains for the birds to have water and that kind of stuff. So I see where we can grow
In the
with it.
future.
Mhm.
Yes, and
Definitely.
this Project Wildlife, you'll get a sign, natural habitat and everything.
Yeah,
It'll probably help you
Oh, that was.
possibly fund
I
it.
already did
Right,
that,
right.
you guys, but that, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Future.
So, as far as old business number one, we're gonna target September.
Yes. Okay.
Because we have plenty of time, you can remind us.
Yeah.
Alright. You guys good? That one? Okay. So number 2, discussion and update on tour debriefing.
Okay, I think the tour went really well. The first night, I think we had 20-some people, and then we had 40 people the second night. So I think it was a success. I think we need to go out and advertise a little bit more next time, or, you know, a little bit further out. The people that did come through all had positive feedback, saying that they really enjoyed it. So, what do you think about that?
I just had a really good time. I think it was really cool to be in the cemetery after dark on Halloween, and the history just came alive, and it was neat to see the students.
Yes.
They started out so shy and stumbling over their words, and then by the end of the night, they owned it and were having fun too.
That's cool.
So,
I think we learned a few things for the future, maybe marking them a little bit better, using, reflectors or something
Yeah,
to
brighter
the path
lights.
where we're going to do
More
the tour,
light.
because I think in the dark it was a little bit hard for some of the people to find it, or some of the kids. So, I think it was an
Have a
experience
run-through
that,
before
yes,
you have the
yeah,
real thing, maybe.
a little bit of room for
Improvement.
improvement there, but overall, I think it went really well.
Did we charge?
$10 per person, yeah.
So how did we do?
So I don't have the exact numbers, and I don't remember, because it's been a little while, but I know it was maybe 26 people the first night, so it was 260, and then about 40 people,
Yeah, I
So
had
$600 and some
$600 in
yeah.
my head.
600 and some dollars.
It's really cool, for marking them out next year, maybe you could just take a glow stick or
Yes.
something, and then they can put a copy can when they get there, and then pull it off with the next ones. And then they go, oop, find the glow stick.
Yeah, maybe that's an option to do.
Luminarias would be nice.
Yeah.
To see by.
So tour went really well. You guys gonna advertise for it more next year or this year?
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
I think we did pretty good for it being the first time.
And it was
So
that was put together at the beginning of October too.
it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
And people did say that they definitely come back if we have more.
Yeah, I made photocopies of these. I wanted to give you guys each one for yourself, and
Oh, good.
so yeah, at least when doing the cleanup, make sure these graves are cleaned up, and then you could actually use this self-guided tour again, and have something there like the Boy Scouts did for flags. Just it's so nice to just have something that's already attached in the ground that you can really get a light in, and considering wind too. Anyways,
That if having a regular tour set up would be a way to better sustain Evergreen, because you'd have some income, you might be able to even possibly have a groundskeeper that way or something. Or get a grandson. I'm getting off topic, I just thought.
Maybe it'll come up in your business.
yeah,
Yeah.
or if not, we'll put it on the agenda for next time.
There you go. Okay. You guys all good with old business?
Yes.
Okay. So go on to new business. One update on Lisa Holland's resignation. So she emailed, where was that? I'm sure you guys probably talked to her or know more or less, but basically she moved to Oro Valley, so it's a little farther, so she's not going to be able to give the attention to it that she feels it deserves. So, yeah. That said, I guess we're going to have to do some recruiting.
So now what are we gonna do?
Recruit, tell your friends, somebody that you think would be interested in. I think we should get more people in here and then get the chair after that myself.
Okay, that's fine. I do have somebody that I thought was put in her application, so we'll see.
Oh, she might, so we might get
Well, it's Eddie Eads, Eddie Wood.
some. Okay.
So she thought she already had it in, but she didn't apparently, so I don't know. But I'm beating the bushes to get, because we have 2 vacancies.
Yeah.
So do we have a quorum? Can we still get stuff done?
Right here, I believe my interpretation of the law says yes.
Okay.
Because as we were discussing before you got here, I'm like, I don't think we can continue because you guys will stalemate if you vote. So,
As long as
need
we
that
have
odd
3.
number.
Okay.
So we can move on to number 2, discussion on purchase of equipment for cutting grass.
Mhm. Who knows about that?
I think Joni.
Okay.
So we might have to table that one.
Yeah. Discussion on Facebook page.
So I think at this point, we just needed a vote so that we can approve the Facebook page. So that we can, make it, publish it,
Yeah.
basically, so.
Yep. As far as I know, we can vote.
You're gonna be keeper of the Facebook page?
I'll be happy to.
Do you know? Yeah. Anything that goes on there can't ever come off, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and I'm really familiar with that because I also do the social media for the county, so.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
You are the right person for the
Sure.
job.
Probably
Rules
already
and
had
regulations.
services about it.
I know, right?
Training.
Okay.
So could I move that Marisol is in charge of our Facebook page and we've approved to have an official Evergreen Cemetery Facebook page?
Yep, I took that as a
I'll
motion.
second.
Let me write that up. Okay. Since I bring my computer, I think I tap faster than I right now. Okay, so motion approved, right? Everybody voted, seconded.
I said,
Evergreen.
Yeah.
now we need.
Any approve? Any
All in favor,
against?
say aye.
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 Yeah.
Those opposed?
None.
None. Hearing none.
3 moves.
Motion carries.
Number 4. Oops. Discussion on update on Wreaths of America.
Unfortunately, I did not make it to the Wreaths Across America ceremony itself. I was sick. But I know this year we had a lot less wreaths that were sponsored. So I think even having the Facebook page, we can promote that off of our page.
That would help, that would help. I know that, thank you. Grace puts it on Facebook and advertises in the, so if we could back her up and remind people that was a lot less this year.
Yes.
How was it? Did you go for the cleanup?
Yes,
How was
it was pretty quick.
Good.
It was good.
We had a technical difficulty with our work order system, so the dumpster didn't go out there.
Yeah,
Did you fill up all those cans? Or did
They
fill
did,
up
yeah,
some?
and around them.
Jody was concerned that the bleachers are still out there, and that's been since December. And I did go in December, it was a beautiful ceremony, and I would like to get involved early on in I know our committee can do more early on to support everybody involved. And so it was beautiful, but certainly, yeah, I noticed that was just like, oh, there's so many veterans that aren't getting wreaths. It like, just because it's a huge place, like that, it is a huge endeavor. But I did notice that too, that the bleachers are still there, and then also there's piles of wreaths still. So I think
There
they took
is-
them off the graves and
Are
they're
they
piles,
still-
but they were there
Yeah, we did.
just like a few days ago. So,
Okay.
When
I apologize
is
for
that cleaned up? Well, when is the trash taken up?
Every week,
Right.
like they go in there
That's
every
what I
Monday,
just-
so I mean,
Monday?
yeah, so.
So it was a week before last.
they might just be on this same route with the trash can. They may want to look on some of the.
Yeah, they might have.
So most of them
roads.
got piled in the veteran section,
Oh.
but the ones that were further out, we put them next to the trash
I
can.
don't
Trash
know if
can,
you were
trash
here,
can.
but
Okay.
we had, I think the Boy Scouts or someone put the poles in the ground so that we knew who the
Yeah.
veterans were, so you could.
Yeah, I went and distributed
nice?
wreaths too, it was
Yeah,
beautiful. And actually, it was kinda neat, cause on the Halloween tour, one of the, stops was a veteran from World War One, a young German immigrant who died in the pandemic before he even got over there
Oh,
and became a citizen, and he was the first buried. Anyways, I made sure and I put a wreath on his grave. So he was only 17 or 18 years old. Anyways, but I haven't been there in a few days, so it was, I think, but it was recently, the stuff was still there, and if it's still there and next time I cruise through, would I just call the city?
Yes, call me.
Okay,
It will be gone, I promise
okay,
you.
sounds good, thank you.
I'm going to go watch them remove them.
You're taking the notes, that's good.
Yeah, there's some kind of Bermuda Triangle between City Hall and the rest of the city where things disappear and don't make it to sometimes I've called 4 times, Mike. I've heard from it all.
Yeah, gotta find that. So, anything else about the wreaths? Moving on, the cemetery rules posted, this one I had brought up earlier. There is not a sign of the rules posted anywhere. There is one sign that says no pets, no dogs, it has a person with a dog. And that's one, and that's only at one gate. So if you go in on the other gates, and apparently there's dog walkers in there. And personally, I don't have a big problem with that if we provide bags, unless but yeah, you see dog waste everywhere that's nasty. And no dogs, no pets. I think most cities don't let them in, so no, there's a dog park.
Just us.
We have a dog park, right? But what process, how can we start this to make the city have a sign of posted rules?
You just did.
Huh?
You just did. You
Okay.
just gotta tell me about it. That signs are
So
not
can you
expensive. You guys will definitely have that in your budget to be able to get some
Is it on
made.
both sides or just one side?
This is just one side, and I think we copied this from Douglas or something. Do you guys want to look at it really quick and see if you think something's missing or we could add? And then I'll just leave this with you.
That's fine. We
Correct.
might need to check and see if there's anything in the.
What is
code.
already, probably there is.
Yeah.
Print out what's there, or then maybe let's don't make it a sign yet, because maybe I'd like to see it.
Update it.
You know what, yeah, that's what I mean, like
It might be
things
from the late
change.
'80s, so things change.
Yeah, things change.
Yes. Okay. So 5. Discussion on
So that would be a request to print out,
request.
put that on our agenda and email that to us before the next meeting so we can
Okay.
look at that.
That's true, good.
Yeah.
Disclaimer at the bottom is a good thing.
And that, is that a disclaimer? I think, of course, I have a disclaimer of, enter at your own risk if you fall in one of the sinkholes.
Damages
Please
or
don't sue the
acts beyond
city.
its ability, so no liability for property damages. So I guess if someone backs over your granddad's grave, it's not our fault.
So we should start selling cemetery insurance. Yeah, some of those corner ones are getting easy to get messed up.
Joey's mom, when she was on the sport, she said, and they cut the feet off of one guy with the lawnmower, and Snooty Holland said, cut his feet off, and she said, well, not his feet, but the bottom of the headstone. I'm sorry, that's not very.
You're the cemetery committee.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so.
Number 5 is request to define Evergreen rules. I'll email you guys before our next meeting.
Okay, great, and then I think then we make a motion, then we move on it.
Yes.
Great. 6, we can skip, that was just typos in the Ujheim. This related back to the Halloween tour, and I keep adding that on there because I want to get that from Joni so I can fix it before I shut that file. Because I'm trying to make that into a PowerPoint, our Halloween tour.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then maybe that can, so that's a side project, but we can move on. So number 7, back to the collaboration, I found the email from Carmen Falcone is her name. She's the chair of the board for Bisbee Project Wildlife. She says, Carolyn, Project Wildlife is interested in having the Evergreen Cemetery be a part of the Dignitaries Tour on Friday, September 1st. I believe we would have between 15 to 30 individuals interested in attending. It would be a great addition to have a historian and native grass expert on board to talk about the cemetery, visitors past and present, and then visiting wildlife. So you can, there's birds and all kinds
Where
of
do we
flowers.
have native grass?
The whole cemetery is full of native grasses in August,
Okay.
like canebeard or cotton top, side oaks, grama. I took pictures, actually. I could share, I would like to, I haven't done that, I want to share that with you guys, but there's like there's an oak, there's all kinds of native plants in
So
there.
I'm thinking maybe, we should just have a designated place for that, like the out, if you're
Yeah.
on a road.
Stay on the road and it's the
Don't
safest
let it
place.
grow all inside the graves and stuff.
Well, then, we've talked about that. You have to have people cutting grass all the time.
Okay.
And that's not the reality yet with how, apparently with how the city gets labor. We have Department of Correction guys doing it all.
Sometimes.
So it's a
Not all the
huge,
time.
it takes 13 guys 2 weeks to do it. So by the time they finish, then they need to start
And it's
again.
not, that's all they do is just chop it down, they don't rake it.
Right, and then I'm trying to let a mesquite grow in the middle of my plot, and they whack the mesquite out.
Yeah.
So I gotta put like chicken wire over it. That's on me, because then it's on people to take care of their grave, but half the people aren't here to take care of it, so there could be some general policy on what care is a basic minimum of care. But here's the rest of the email,
Yes.
excuse me. There would need to be plan for grooming area, keeping wildlife in mind, staging area, tour drives, tour layout, 20 minutes, layout maps. Keeping in mind what makes the cemetery interesting, historical, age, why is the cemetery registered as wildlife habitat with the National Wildlife Federation? And then that's all they got. So the second part of that is they love the cemetery. They're so excited about sharing it with these dignitaries. I already paid for it to be registered because it meets all the qualifications. And I can make that a future presentation to you if you want to see why. But it's just like this checklist. There's cover, there's 2 evergreen, 2 sources of cover. There's cover all over the place there. There's food, there's seeds, there's flowers for the, there's a couple sources of food, and then water. Anyways, it met this pretty minimum checklist. And so,
I just don't wanna lose touch of what it is.
yeah, no, it's the cemetery, it's the city.
Yeah, she's not talking about letting it go wild around the graves or anything like that.
No, but
We'd still do the maintenance and everything, but there's a lot of areas around it.
Yeah, I think whatever we do to it, there's gonna be always wildlife there, because it's surrounded by wildlife, and there's tons of
but I'm just hoping it'll help us
trees.
keep it in
Yeah, well,
check.
that's you
I
are
want
putting
help.
that on that agenda.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
just
you.
a liaison
I know.
doing this. So, there's an option, for signage. Do you want it to be like this? And it looks like about like this, and it's just metal, and you can like attach it to the fence. Or, because they're willing to pay for it. This is
that's
extra
nice.
cost, and the committee wants to buy us the sign. Or there's also this, kind of a metal sign. And I thought, metal is more
I
permanent.
think that's more our age.
Yeah, these fade, and then it's like a faded sign, like 10 years from now. Who cares about wildlife?
This is classier and it's more in with our age of the
It
facility.
matches the cemetery, exactly, the age. Okay, Marisol, are you in agreement?
Yes.
Metal sign, yes?
No, I'm.
Okay, you're not a
Yeah,
voter.
ladies.
You're not an operator about
I
that guy.
appreciate it, that's an offer.
And then I'm gonna ask them, to, put it on, I think there's some boulders already there that have some signage. You know, see if it fits on one of those, or put it on a rock like that, something permanent and classy, in, close to the other, you know where I'm talking about when you write,
Which interest?
the main entrance on the left, there's the map, and then on the right, there's some just information signs. There's a boulder down there that has a plaque in it. It might fit on the back of there, so it already fits with what's there. So, all right, then, thank you. I'll pass this along to, I meet with this committee next week, so I'm just gonna share the information. And our concerns about safety of people walking and how we'd like it to,
And we want it to look good for this September thing, you know, so.
yeah, my idea was that, we're just, don't cut it till that Monday after the tour, and then please cut it again, because, you know, it probably needs to be cut several times throughout the monsoons, really,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So I
I
think
am dreading it already.
just waiting for,
Play it by ear.
you know, just following those dates, it's like, okay, wait till September 1st, then we whack it, but it'll look beautiful. As long as the rains come, it'll be looking nice, regardless. All right, and then so 8, go
Real quick,
ahead.
7, so
Yeah,
sign was picked.
yes, sign is picked. We're going with personalized lawn plaque. We're getting a personalized lawn plaque. It's bigger, so it's 15 3/4 by 9 1/4.
Sign choice was personalized, what?
It's a personalized lawn plaque.
Lawn plaque, okay. And we did receive one for Laverne Williams at the city too.
Oh,
The
good.
metal one.
Okay, so you guys already have it, because I think, because somebody else filled out the paperwork for that, and I filled out the paperwork for this, so it came to me. Is there a place at the city I can hang this?
Yeah, absolutely, right in the front window.
Where employees walk by and where
Oh,
you guys will
yes.
see it?
Yeah, if you want, I'll shove it in all the cubbies everywhere.
Oh, no, safe paper. I'll come over and
Okay.
put it in the window at the city.
Where does Laverne's go?
Well, we actually just got park name signs. So every park in Bisbee is going to be getting a very similar sign, same shape as that one kind of. It's going to have the nice name on it, and then it's got a copper border. It's on white, and then the city logo on the top. So with that one, we're thinking we're going to put our new sign up there, and then we're just going to have that one real close. I like your rock idea. We might just get a rock right by there next to it, and then mount that on that.
Yeah, we've got plenty of boulders all over the
Yeah.
place here.
Freeport shouldn't have any problem getting some up. So, okay, I'm good on the 7, thank you.
And 8 we can bypass because I had figured this out. This was way back early on in the agenda, and they've already let us know they don't want us on the tour, just a pre-tour for dignitaries.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a little show-off of, because it is, you look at that hillside, it is gorgeous. And then just while I was thinking about it, because Marisol mentioned the collaborating with the columbariums. Also, they can also help us pick a fence when eventually it is, I know that someday that'll have to be back fenced, you know?
Which one?
The border of the cemetery on the other side of the hill, there's no fence.
Right.
So someday when that fence comes in, if we can make it not spiky,
Oh,
then that would help the deer.
we have a couple sections flipped over, so it's a flat bar on the very back so they can go in and out.
Okay,
Because the guys have had to remove them.
okay, so that's already, and so you guys already did that and it hasn't happened since?
No,
So-
since I've been here, since last December, there's been no deer.
So like that already like qualifies as like, you know, that's like helping wildlife, so thank you,
Yeah.
awesome. I'll mention that at our meeting.
Yes, they did not like
They
that.
have their own walkway now.
I'm an animal lover, I hate that.
Oh, I
I
love
don't like
seeing them
that.
running across the cemetery, it's just, it's beautiful. I've seen them right at the right times too, and I need to see one.
That's cool. Okay, so 8, I'm just gonna say, is good.
Yes. Okay, and I got us, I'm like, oh man, I'm monopolizing this meeting, you guys gotta put a timer on. Okay, what I meant by upgrading the website, I think, I'm not interested in the city making more copies of this. I think that when I keep asking, they say, well, so much stuff was burned down and when the city building burned down, that there's no record, that's where the originals of this is, and that's why it's not, it's like, I don't care, whatever the reason. Can't we take this and make it on the cemetery website right now, where you can just QR code and it gives you this.
You can print it out yourself.
You can print it out yourself, or you can walk around the cemetery with your phone and do a self-guided tour on your phone.
Yeah, I think so.
So how do I initiate that happening? Because then that's making somebody else's job more, right? Whoever does.
We work for you,
the website.
so that's how it goes.
I know, but it's like small town, everybody, tight budget.
Yeah, it's your guys' money.
So, I'm willing to start this, take that on, who do I speak to, where do I take it?
For a website, or it's on the.
Website
We want
updates.
it added to the website, right?
Yeah,
So-
I want it on the website.
Nina Williams she usually runs the website.
Okay, so do I make an appointment with Nina? And I say, I'm on the cemetery committee and I would like to meet with you. And I go to her office and I bring this and talk to her?
No,
Is that how business is
No?
done?
I'm the liaison.
Oh,
Okay,
So I think it falls on me to go
Okay.
ahead and, so let me know exactly what you want to do. You want to scan it into a computer so that people can get a QR code off of the website, off of our site, and just pull that document up and then they can print it or not.
put this
Yes.
on the website.
I don't think that would take long at all.
We can put this on the Facebook page.
And put it on.
yes, okay, great.
There you go.
And then, because I was like, there's probably could be some updates in this, because this was a while back, but I'm like, I don't care, we just put out what we have now, and then, there's, if you update things as you go, then if you really get into it, you make it perfect and update it.
I might be able to take that document and scan it into Adobe, and then it will recreate the document so we could edit it. So
Fantastic.
you could update it if you wanted.
Okay, which would be better, the glossy original,
Probably just
or the
a
photocopy, color photocopy?
photocopy copy.
Okay, so this goes to you, my friend?
Yes. Alright.
Speaking of the website, also if we can, once we get the Facebook page published, if we can have that shared out from the Bisbee.
Oh,
City
yeah,
of Bisbee
onto
website.
there? Yes. Yes.
Okay, so then, I guess, how can I help you with this? Is there anything I can do to help you?
Is there anything in here that stuck out to you that needed updated?
I'm not remembering off the top of my head, I was looking at, there's also self-guided tours of Old Bisbee, and those were like, the QR code didn't work, so I was like, oh, these should be fixed. But that goes with the museum, mining museum.
Oh, really?
I wanna talk to them,
Yeah,
'cause
that's not us, so.
that, yeah, so I just was thinking, I assumed because they have it, that this might have it, but, no, I think,
No,
no.
I think some of that
This was
was,
probably before the QR code was being used.
Yeah, no, this is fine, because this is from 2000.
That's, wow. 2000 seems like
Wait,
the biggest
okay,
23
no,
years
that's
ago.
a book I wanna read, Cochise County Stalwarts, and that's from 2000. I mean, that's the only date I can find on here, but. They used to have these in the
Kiosk?
kiosk, exactly.
I've wondered about that actually.
But I think, because what I was just thinking, this doesn't even make sense to me, I think this map is not very good. And like, that would be like another whole project, like change the whole
Updating it,
map, like
yeah.
this map is different from those numbers, which is different from the map
It
that's on the
needs to be
website.
something too, when you're in that section, you know what section you're in.
Yeah, like, see how this doesn't have the streets?
No.
So it's a horrible map, but it's a
Yeah.
good map to show all these weird organizations that are in all the different places. It's not weird, historic, the
Yeah,
historic
but they need to be,
designations,
they need to be, well, yours is different than mine.
because that's the color photocopy. This is the original.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I was saying, like, I would redo this, but for our purposes now, it's fine, because it is cool to learn about, you know,
But I think we
these
also,
fraternal orders.
someday, you
Yeah.
know, you should be able to see this, you know, when one section stops and another starts.
Well, and then like, to
Even if
find
it's
these people,
Different colored gravel or
they just say, oh, number 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see these
Yeah.
numbers for the
Yeah.
self-guided folks? It's really interesting, but those don't go with anything on here. You have to find the
Yeah, you need to know
headstone
what section
itself.
it's in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I meant, like that, it's not perfect, but I think it's still pretty cool and better than nothing, and will remind us, or help remind me to stay focused on the program I'd
See,
like to
that's,
have,
yes.
to have done. Inspired by the Halloween tour and all
Well,
those.
and my
the
idea is
awesome
too,
folks.
someday I wanna have a deal where we can, ask people if they'd like to purchase, a bench. You know, if we can get I know somebody, but I don't know them. You know, if we could get a discount on a concrete bench, maybe they would wanna buy one and put, you know, their,
Remembering somebody.
yeah, put their name on it, and we can have benches. Or, you know, something like that. Because benches wouldn't take any care.
No? No, I mean, even if it does, right, I mean,
But we could, you know,
Yeah.
which brings up one last thing, and I'm sorry, but where are we on our water thing? I thought we purchased 4 tanks, and we only have 2? Is that correct?
only like 2 purchases as far as I know.
Okay.
Um,
And where are they not up and running yet?
Where, Jody wants to know where the hoses are.
Okay.
I did-
We never figured out how we were going to secure the hoses. So I think that's not a hard fix. I think we'll just have to build a box, put a lock on it.
Maybe with the faucet in it, I mean the on switch, because you don't want that open.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea.
You're
Just
gonna
build a
have
box
people
right
taking
around
showers
that.
if you don't.
Yeah, well, it's true. Cold shower, but
Well,
other than
They
less.
don't care, and they'll leave it on.
Okay, I'll come back to that just because on 9, so discussion on website update.
Okay, yes, finish that.
Yeah.
I'm good, if you can, if, that was my first step, get this on our website, and, great, that is one thing.
And it's your department, Department of Public Works, that's your
Yes.
name on it.
It is, I'm going to look for this.
Okay, like, that's
see
what I
if can
thought,
find
maybe
it.
if it's already on,
I imagine
It
those
should be
computers, but
have
it was like,
Downloaded somewhere probably.
I didn't know where to start, so thank you for
Oh, no
saving
problem.
Nina Williams from me bugging her.
I mean, it says liaison, right?
That's right.
So,
Yeah, in my mind, I just wanna do something sustainable, because, having somebody, the city paying for these and leaving them over there and keeping them going, is not sustainable.
yeah, you're right.
So, we're in the digital age, let's get it digital.
You know what? Having it so it's a digital just on their phone maybe
Yeah,
too. So I mean,
that's what I wanted, just like you, I like when I travel just to be able to, oh, cool, click on it, oh, yeah, I'm gonna take it, that's how I like to do
so
travel.
it'd be like
Just put
Evergreen
together a
Cemetery
map, though.
walking history map,
Yeah,
walking
that's-
guide. Hit the scan or do the QR code on our website, or click a link and it pulls up the map.
Yeah, that's what I wanna work on, cause this map doesn't help you with that, with finding the folks.
And that's something else you guys could do too. I mean, this is a good idea with putting that online, and we could do another map. Do you guys know how much is in your guys' fund?
I don't know.
That would be nice to have can we put that on the next agenda, financial update?
We should have.
Send it, yeah, just send the request to
little
Lorraine and
nest
then we
egg
can know.
there.
What's that?
We should have a pretty good little nest egg.
Yes, that's what I'm
Because we
thinking.
got
I
that
don't think it'd be
grant
hard to
that
get
helped
somebody
us.
to come in for fairly.
We
Low
need
cost to do a
$600
real map.
at Halloween. Right?
So I would ask Lorena that in the emails.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Just tell you like this, whatever discussion or, what was the question again?
What is our budget, how much do we
Yes.
have, like, in what fund is it? you know, that kind of thing, some general stuff, how much do we have and how can it be spent?
Yes.
What's the, you know, discretion, that kind of thing.
And I just read at the bottom of this, it says, funded with the Bisbee Foundation Evergreen Cemetery Endowment Grant. Where's
That
that?
up. I'll look it up. I won't write on this one.
It's right there with
Yeah,
the
finance, so, what are our finances, what's going on?
Well, I mean, that's gotta have something. You get another new one.
Yeah, that was, Lisa will be sorely missed, she wrote these grants, she's the
Right.
grant
I
writer.
know,
Who's gonna
I don't know.
hire a
You
grant
guys-
writer?
No, Danielle Bushman?
No.
Okay. Danielle does a lot of grant writing for us with the city. She's very good at it, and she's very passionate and whatnot. So if you guys were to talk to her about something, she might be willing to help out. You know, sell it to her. I bet she probably would.
Danielle, how's she spelling?
Bouchevet?
Yeah.
Bouschever. I might have spelled that wrong, but that's the gist. Yes, she's actually a nurse at the hospital. Yeah. So, Evergreen Cemetery Endowment Fund, I'm going to see what that's about. Wouldn't that be nice? You just found out there's a bunch of money that everybody forgot about just sitting out there? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna hire that intern, that was my fantasy, an intern getting their PhD in history, and they're gonna go through all the records, and they're gonna make sure who's at, you know, update all the records, so you know that person is in fact right there, or they got moved, or what have you.
That's gonna be a good one.
Make it, and then upgrade the GPS thing, make that, you know, tighten that up.
Cause I asked about burying somebody one time, they said, as long as you let us know you did it. What kind of control is that?
Huh?
Where can you look up the cemetery records? I mean, who has the cemetery records?
Lorena.
Lorena?
At our office. And it takes her a little bit sometime. And if I remember correctly, there's like almost 2 databases that are talking to each other. Right? So she has to use both of them sometimes. So, but she'll be able to find out.
I was surprised there's a baby section.
Yeah. Yeah, that database is cool. I liked playing with it. It's pretty, you just have to know the person's name or, and then the search. It's, you gotta flip around a little bit in pages, cause I'd be like, where is it? And
I
it'd be on
love
the
that.
next page.
There, what is it?
Go to the city
City
website,
website.
and then go to the cemetery website, and the whole database is there. We just, when we were trying to make sure we knew where the headstones were before the Halloween tour, you would use the GPS, and I'd be like, yeah, there it is! I'd be so excited, and I'd take a picture of the computer screen, and then we'd walk there, and it wouldn't be, right, it would be like kinda close, but it wasn't super exact, and I'm thinking that was just the GPS, that was the satellite picture, when they took it, like now it might be, might be able to make that a little bit tighter.
So that Find a Grave, they did pretty good at mapping out all the graves at the different cemeteries
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, Find a Grave, it is on there, but it just, and most of it worked, but sometimes it would just be way off. Like when we're like, no, I know this is here, and then I know this bush is this, because you're looking at a picture,
Right.
But both Joni and I, a couple times, it was not exact.
Right.
So then, it was still fun to play with it, but I think so that's my fantasy, some unpaid intern or paid intern or someone getting their PhD that really wants to, take things from that book, put it in the archive, all kinds of connections to newspaper articles, all that fabulous history that's there.
And I'd like
I
to
would
look
like
at
to
those sometime when you wanna bring them back.
I think I want to give them back to Lisa now, because
Oh.
they were from her mom. So
Oh,
until
I thought
they-
she brought them, Lisa.
Yeah, she did, but now that she
Oh, I
moved.
can give them back to her.
Okay,
This here.
Okay, then I'm gonna
Yeah,
let her
we're
know.
friends.
Cause
Yeah,
I was
let her
like,
know.
I felt so bad, cause I've been trying to get him back to her since
I
Halloween.
know, and
And
it's
then
been
I had one
canceled.
more,
Oh,
then the
yeah,
meetings are
I've
canceled,
seen it.
and it was again and again, and now she moved. So
We'll go
it-
to
But
dinner and stuff.
I was
Okay.
thinking for our Facebook
I'm gonna
page
text
also is to
her.
feature different people that are
Yeah.
buried there and
Yeah, just
share
let her know I
stories
have
and
them.
get
Yes.
people interested in, different history of the people.
And hopefully in their own,
Right.
that's, we just need help. How long over dinner,
member comments, staff comments.
I would just like anything, just, if you want on the next one, like the tanks and hoses and all that, just think of what you want, and email Lorena, that's,
Okay, so for this part that says future items for discussion, we email,
Okay.
yeah.
Email Lorena.
Or I can go ahead and write them down here too, and if you think of something else,
So financial update,
yeah, if I,
maybe having a special session for a cleanup effort before Earth Day or for Earth Day maybe?
Earth Day's a nice one, and then
Wednesday.
just looking ahead, to maybe, again in the fall, do it right before Day of the Dead. Because people are doing that
Before
anyways.
this, before September
Before
1st.
Halloween, or yeah, if you want it, or no, I'm thinking not before September, you just leave
So
that
we're not
grass.
doing there?
But before Halloween
So
or
don't,
before
we're not
Day
gonna
of
do
the
this
Dead.
one. Okay. I was looking at the day before Easter having a cleanup,
Okay,
but we don't have another meeting until.
What's Earth Day?
It would be, when's Earth Day?
May 4th is our next meeting.
Right, so we wanna have a
When's
special,
Earth Day? Oh, it's on the 22nd.
22nd.
so I don't think Easter weekend would probably be good
Okay.
because some people actually go out of town.
Oh, okay, I thought they were coming here. I don't know.
Some do,
Some
some
do.
don't.
Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But if they're
So-
coming to town, they're probably
Earth
not
Day,
gonna
that
want
would
to.
be,
Right.
we could even have it,
On
well,
Earth
they
Day.
have stuff on Earth Day though,
Yeah, but
at
they
the
can.
parks and everything.
Earth Day works at the cemetery, be like, hey, come
Yeah,
take care of your
okay,
Yeah,
ancestors.
I think so.
Any day's fine with me, I just
Yeah.
wanna,
Get it cleaned up.
I do. I mean, I did a little, I'm gonna do a little every time I'm here.
For future discussion, since the meetings are kind of a little spaced out, I'm sorry, when's the next one?
First one I have is financial status, second one was going to be,
Oh, can you give us what are the city cemetery rules?
yes, cemetery rules.
What's our money and what rules are already on the book?
And tanks and hoses, right?
You told me about that, I'm gonna have those guys build a box
So
around
I
it.
had dinner with Joni, she wanted to be here tonight, but, so she did bring this up. Where are the hoses? We want new trees, we don't want our trees transplanted, they're not gonna make it transplanted, we want new trees. She wants to use the cherry picker for the city to top off some of those trees, the cypress trees, I believe.
She wants to what?
She wants to use the cherry
Bucket?
picker bucket, yes, that the city has to top off some trees.
Diseased trees.
Disease trees, yeah.
Yes, I did get a quote from Luke
Oh, good.
Oldfield for it. That's why
So I think
it'll
maybe
tie
add that
into
to-
the financial, but we might be able to split some of our public works money with your Evergreen and to be able to get that done too.
Cool.
So,
And in the beginning, he had said he would do it for us.
he has done some for
Has
you
he?
guys,
Okay.
but yeah, he did do some freebies and stuff out
Okay.
there a bunch already.
That's
but
what he said he was.
yeah,
All right, good.
So I think it's not too early to start talking about fundraising too, so like maybe we can do, even if we wanna do some trees and have people also do in memory
Buy
of or
trees.
dedicated to somebody.
Mhm.
And I think the bench idea is great too,
The
because,
benches, tree and a bench.
so fundraising,
yes,
so you wanna discuss fundraising on the next one and how you can.
yes.
Okay. I think that if you guys did some of those tours, even in the evenings, in the summertime, weather-wise, people would probably still be
Yeah.
I
interested in
think
that.
that's a
I think so
really
too.
good idea, around the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people
Depends
coming
on
back
what
to
day it
town.
falls on, but, 4th of July.
It was pretty chilly last time and we still had a group out there, so.
And
Yeah, that's true.
if it was possible, the way I took my tours, I stayed on the road. You could, each of those graves you could see
That's
from,
a good idea.
from the road. You didn't have to go, trying to walk through the tall grass and.
Could have supplies and all people do a grave rubbing or something, like a donation type.
What did you just say?
Have supplies for grave rubbing, where
Oh,
people.
grave rubbing.
Yeah, well, they'll take the paper
I
and.
thought you said grave
Write that
robbing.
down, man, that's a
No,
great idea.
none of that.
Okay.
That's an interesting way to raise money.
Yeah.
One more item for future discussion. Somebody mentioned that they wanted to donate a PA system also.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Donation of PA. Yes, we used to have one, and evidently it was burned down. And we've never replaced it since then, so that's actually one of the things. I had to go to the, that's how we had to get them power. I had to bring them an extra power box so that they could use the PA system if they wanted for that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
for
sure.
the Reese of
what the-
America, sorry.
Okay, yeah, so I'm not sure what the condition is or what.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
not
it's a
gonna be
donation,
picky,
so,
is it?
yeah,
If it makes you talk louder,
right.
it'll squeal and all that.
Alright, so we got 4 future items: financial status, cemetery rules, which I have more written on the other section as far as that, and then fundraising for this donation of PA system. And honestly, I don't even know if that needs to be a discussion. I think they can just
They can just do it.
bring it in, yeah.
Awesome.
I'll go and take that one off.
Let
Okay.
people look at this, we're doing good.
And do you guys want to put the water tanks and hoses?
Hoses,
I'll just
yeah.
put that.
Yes,
And hopefully when we have that meeting, you guys, thank you, and they're all set up, so.
that's right. You'll be able to check it.
And then just like trees, question mark.
And
We're
we
talking
can
about
buy
the
new
trees that,
trees.
okay, the trees that that Lisa wrote a grant for.
Yeah.
Something happened to those. And like,
They didn't
they
get
planted
planted.
it in the wrong place and stuff like that, and then it was like, somebody was like, oh, anyways, just like, what's gonna, I don't know, Joni, I would say bring that up again, because
Yes.
Joni doesn't have,
Trees.
Trees,
is asking questions about
tanks,
it.
hoses, and trees.
Yeah.
Put that all together. Yeah, that was not good. But they did it fine.
Yeah, and that was before my time coming on the committee, but
Me too.
Lisa wrote a big grant, so that would be,
Right.
maybe, we should see a copy of that, or who has it, you know, that kind of thing. If she's leaving, then we should follow through with her grant.
Yeah, there's probably some follow-up on it.
Yeah, I don't know if it
The
is.
thing
and-
is if you don't get it done, you lose it, and then they're not gonna give it to you again.
and that- So
And
let's ask her.
we were already about ready to start writing another one, hopefully to follow up, but
I'll add that, I'm telling
Yeah, got the
her, I'm
first one.
emailing her now that you're taking these, so I'll put in here, is there anything we should know about the grant? Does that sound all right? Okay.
she needs to send me some emails or whatever, my brain's not.
So we got 4 items on there. First 3 mentioned, then tanks, hoses, and trees.
Thursday,
So as far as the special session, which,
well, we won't need it now, because Earth Day is still coming,
it's before the next
before
meeting.
May.
Yep.
So how would we go about setting up
Special
special?
meeting.
Request it till Lorraine, and she'll look on the schedule and see what available days there are between here and there.
Okay.
Or there's not another committee meeting or something. There should be plenty, it's 3 months, 2 months.
Is there a good time for you guys for a special session?
These Tuesday and Thursday evenings are open for
Tuesday and
me.
Thursdays?
Yeah.
Sometime in
March?
I didn't know that about Italian cypress. At the very beginning, if you cut them down, that they won't spring back up.
March.
Yeah, which is they put in the cemetery to symbolize finality of death. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I just visited Mesa's and their old ones are like ours, real big old ones that are dying off, and then they have 2 rows of little babies. So I guess that's, you know, plan ahead. But I would, we can discuss that at another time. I wouldn't plant trees that need water in general coming up. Take
Yeah.
care of what's there, but any new plans, try to make it sustainable.
Well, the Italian cypress have done very well.
Yeah, they do. All of them, it's kind of cool, because they are the
And they
Mediterranean,
don't have real deep roots, I don't think, so
Just,
that's, they don't take a lot.
dry adapted.
Yeah, mine seem to be doing very well. I have 2 in front of my porch or whatnot, so I like them. You know, some people have actually have requested us to cut some of them down in right-of-ways or whatnot because they say they're dirty and they drop a lot of stuff and everything. But I haven't seen that at my house myself. Obviously, some stuff won't
Well,
cut.
yeah.
Just know, when they get to be full size, they'll be as
Oh, mine
wide
does.
as this.
Oh, yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
People always
Well, they
like,
do
well,
well.
want these little things to stay little next to their.
And they grow in Phoenix like crazy.
Yeah.
And Phoenix is 118,
Yeah, that is neat how they're associated with. Like I already told them, next Christmas, I'm gonna bring that Christmas card in and show you. So Mesa Cemetery has them too, and olive trees, because they're also, trees from the Old Testament. So it's all biblical symbolism. And, then we grew up in East Mesa and also North Mesa, and the sheep used to come down off the rim. The sheep herders, the Basque sheep herders, that was a tradition for hundreds of years too, that they summered up on the rim, and then in the winter they'd bring them down to the valley, following canals and the Salt River. And they would be in the fields by where we grew up. And my grandma sewed us all, my little brother and sister and I were the youngest. They sewed us all these Old Testament, like Mary, or we were the tree shepherds. And so we had to stand there with the cemetery behind us because of those trees. And we were in these get-ups, and I mean, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, oh God, what else did you do as a
Here we
kid?
go again.
And then there were sheep all around, and I'm so glad you did it, because it's the greatest picture. It's hilarious.
That's cool.
It's a classic. So,
I went to the Garden of Gethsemane.
oh, you have been there, wow, so you've seen it. Yeah, the old ancient olive trees
There.
and cypress,
The trunks are the size of this
so pretty. All right, so we've got the future items for discussing. Would somebody else like to call this meeting adjourned? Yeah, well,
I'd
it's
like to
very
call
fun.
the meeting adjournned at, I can't see this,
Okay, it is-
6:52?
Yes, 6:52.
6:52?
6:52.
Good job.
Good job. Look at all of this, we're doing good. Oh, I should wait till you get that turned off.
And we were kind of a little long, right? Do you guys see 7 o'clock too late? Or
It's fine.
Quite a lot to
Yeah.
talk about.
yes, we have